Spiritual teaching 210. Love one another. 1. I come to free you from the torment in which your materialism has sunk you, giving you the lamp with which you can light the path. 2. You are the men of the third era, those who will truly know the reason for their life. And I come to help you obtain that knowledge through my revelations. 3. You are the men of the new time in which my kingdom seeks your heart to rise up in it, in which you will make good your spiritual ideal, and you will learn that the best prayer is that of your works. 4. Love and truth correspond to the Spirit, also his wisdom, because he was created to love and know his Father. 5. I, the Master, come to shake you with the memories of your spiritual past, that your heart does not know why they belong to the Spirit, when it lived its true existence, when your abode was another and you did not yet live in this body that you now have, which is a crucible, anvil, and a lesson for the Spirit. 6. I bring you memories of the spiritual life, hidden behind the veil of your materiality, to tell you that this life awaits you again so that you come to enjoy it fully after your pilgrimage, your experience, and your evolution. 7. When you are back in the infinite abode and feel the joy of inhabiting it, you will not tire of blessing this world of tears where you came to learn, to appreciate happiness, peace, light. 8. My new coming, now in spirit, aims to remind you of a path of the law that will unite you with the Absolute, that will make you penetrate into universal harmony, and, when you are part of that divine harmony, when you feed from the bread of my wisdom, you will truly know who you are. 9. What can make you cry in the world when you are above the trifles of human life, nor the sufferings, neither the needs, nor the moral tests, nor the elements? Nothing will be able to defeat you or bring you down when you have achieved true spirituality. 10. Your sufferings will be for others. Your concerns will be for the salvation of all men. And every time you contemplate the salvation of a being, you will feel my Father's light illuminating your interior, and you will be blessing the day when you took the first firm step on the path. 11. My word is the spiritual path that you must enter with all your senses, with all your understanding, and all your love, if you want to know where you have come from and where you are walking. 12. No one is known yet. If you do not yet know your body, how do you think you know your spirit? But you will get to know each other as you practice my divine teachings. 13. I teach you with the word because it contains everything, since it comes from me. I am the word. You learn to speak of the spiritual in such a way that every word you say to others passes from your heart to the heart of your brother as if he were a pearl, a jewel of infinite value. 14. Learn to speak to the spirits. Teach them to hear the voice of their conscience. Sensitize their feelings with my teachings. 15. Look how all my sentences go along the path that guides them. And even if for now you look at them superficially, tomorrow, when you can penetrate a higher plane, you will find only essence in my word. 16. I do not descend, people. When I tell you that I have descended to you, it is figuratively, because my communication is through an inspiration of ideas that are made in the minds of these spokespersons. How do I know that instantly listening to these messages you cannot understand them, or even retain them in memory? I have ordered you to write my words, so that what you do not understand now, tomorrow little by little, you will understand. 17. My manifestation of this time is apparently very poor, because its splendor is spiritual, but you will already feel the greatness with which I have come to you, and you will see this doctrine work the miracle of saving humanity through spirituality. 18. The spiritual temple built with love for my children will be supported by many columns, each of which will be one of those who firmly remain in the path of my law. 19. Don't you think it's possible? It is that you do not have faith in yourself yet. But I do have faith in everyone. I have always had it, and that through the ages I have come to entrust you with new and greater revelations. Truly I tell you, the day in which you give teachings of profound wisdom to your brothers, but not with the word that is studied, but with the one that springs from the source of the Spirit, when one is in communion with my Spirit. 20. Why should it not be possible for good feelings to spring from sterile hearts? Why shouldn't it be possible that from the heart of the one who has sent, water of grace springs up to quench the thirst of those who suffer? 21. You are not only minds that think today and not tomorrow. You are not just flesh that beats today and soon ceases to exist. For me, above all, you are eternal spirits, children of God, and that is why I trace the path that truly corresponds to you. 22. I do not come to deprive you of anything that I have deposited in this nature for conservation, health, sustenance, welfare, and enjoyment of my children. On the contrary, I tell you that just as I offer the bread of the Spirit, and I invite you to aspire divine essences and saturated with spiritual effluvia, do not ignore or stray from what nature offers you, that in this way you will achieve harmony, health, energy, and therefore good compliance with the laws of life. 23. You know that I am your God, people, but tell me, if I am your God, do you already feel me in your heart? Do you obey? Do you already obey my commandments and my laws? If I am your God, to what extent do you obey me? 24. The voice of consciousness is the one who answers from within, telling me that your surrender is not yet absolute, that your obedience is not constant. 25. Do not forget for a moment that in my word I tell you that whoever obeys my laws know my peace. That is why those who know my word do not feel lonely or sad, because for them, words, misfortune, damnation, and death do not stop them as a threat or as a shadow over the peace of their spirit. They are concerned with knowing the truth, living in the light, conquer health, peace, and wisdom forever. 26. Those who come to me through the path of my teaching know that they cannot get lost because a divine light leads. It is that light that gives them the certainty of the end and the true object of life. 27. My way is the path of good, disciples. Come for him, step by step, sowing him with good works, good thoughts, and good words. But never keep an account of your good deeds. Instead, I advise you to take a careful account of your bad deeds, words, and thoughts, so that you will stop committing mistakes. 28. Leave the good collected seed to me and you take the vain seed. Scrutinize it so that you know the cause of your weakness. Take care that it does not mix among the good grains and then exterminate it. 29. Only goodness can give peace, joy, health, knowledge. Therefore, for one to be abundant in love, you must be great in spirit. 30. This is what I came to teach you when I lived in the world with you. And this I now come to remind you. If through Jesus, touching with my hand I healed the sick, also at this time I come to touch them to restore health and make them enter again into the miracle of life. 31. Today I don't have hands to touch your sick body, because I come in spirit, but the Spirit can also touch you with his love and make you feel his presence. 32. The blind men of that time, blind in spirit, shed the Master's blood and nailed those hands that healed by touching, caressing, and blessing. But they could not destroy my spirit, nor imprison it, nor nail it. He raised above the smallness of men, promising to return, since in those moments he was neither recognized nor my word understood as the supreme truth. 33. Here you have me fulfilling my promise and waiting for humanity to recognize me. 34. But If I asked you what happened to that blessed body in which Christ dwelt, would you know how to answer me? It must be me who tells you. That body that was an instrument of divine love, once its journey was over, once its lips were closed forever and his eyes too, he went down to earth to finish fulfilling his mission as a man. But when the earth enveloped him in its bosom, that body, whose cells only vibrated to love, spread into infinity to fall later like rain of life on the same beings that had rejected the life that the Redeemer brought to them. When you think that God himself became man to dwell with you, you come to feel the vanity of being so loved by the Father, and then you also think that you are his masterpiece. But, truly I tell you, there is no work of the Father that is not a teacher, and, in addition, you must know that there are spirits whose perfection, beauty, and elevation you cannot even imagine. 35. Beyond you, there are works greater than those that you know here, and also works of your brothers, superior to the works of men. 36. Why believe that man is the greatest thing that exists today within the works of the Lord? You are only small creatures, you go a long way in pursuit of true greatness. 37. You are great and perfect insofar as you are my work, but as for your works, you are still very small and imperfect. That is why I come to manifest myself as a master before you, to teach you new revelations that will bring you to the summit of good, of knowledge, of love, and unite harmoniously with everything that is perfect. 38. How can perfection exist in your world if there is pain, if there are needy, vicious, crippled, oppressed, if there are arrogant and selfish, and also fratricides? 39. Happiness is the patrimony of the elevated abodes, and in your world I still do not contemplate happiness. 40. Today I come to leave you in this word my new message so that you may emerge into a new life. 41. Build your peace, build your world of happiness, using the virtue of my teachings. 42. Certainly you have fought a lot to procure comforts, pleasures, and advances, but your ideals many times contain selfishness, wickedness, excessive ambition. Then instead of achieving happiness or peace, you collect pain, war, and destruction, which is what you are collecting in these moments that you live. 43. How are your works going to be perfect on earth when I see you at odds with the elements of nature, which are the same ones from which you take life? 44. My doctrine does not come to prohibit you from using the elements and forces of nature, but it comes to order you and teach you to use them for good ends. 45. The elements of nature in your hands can become friends and brothers, and judges whom punish severely. 46. It was time for men to gather the fruit of experience so that they no longer provoke the forces of the elements, because with all their science they will not be able to contain them. 47. O humanity, always distant from me, despite your forgetfulness, my memory is not separated from you, world watered with my blood. I bring you again my love. 48. Do you remember my examples from the second era? Listen. 49. Finding myself on the outskirts of a village, the emissary of a powerful man came before me, who said to me, Lord, how much I have had to walk to get to you. I said to him, blessed is he who seeks me, for he will always find me. 50. Asket, who are you? Him who heals all evils with his power. Are you not perhaps the Son of God? I told him then, I am the beginning and the end. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the one who has lowered from heaven to the world to save you. Do you see these men who follow me through counties, provinces, and villages? So you will follow me tomorrow, leaving your royal cloak and becoming confused between the humble and the poor. Truly I say that you have come to call me on behalf of your master, who wants me to cleanse him of his leprosy. Isn't that so? That man, surprised, felt overwhelmed with fear, but I told him, "Do not fear. I have only told the truth, because for that I have come to the world." 51. Then the servant said to me, "Lord, since you know it, come to the house of my Lord, who is calling you." 52. "Oh man," I said to him, "tell your Lord that it is enough for me that he believed in me. When you get to it, it will be clean." 53. That man walked away, and soon his eyes testified with joy the word of Jesus. In that, Matthew came to me and told me, "Master, a woman is coming to look for you." "I already know," I replied. "It is Mary, the Magdalene, who comes looking for me so that I free it from the influences of the spirits that possess it." The disciple was surprised that I knew everything. In my presence she arrived regally dressed. She had been looking for me for a long time to find in my eyes a light that could save her. In dreams had seen the Nazarene freeing her from her burden and was coming towards him, driven by an eager spirit towards light and redemption. 54. She fell at my feet, to the astonishment of everyone present, and I said to her, "Why are you crying? You cry of pain and joy, but I forgive you." 55. At that moment all the chains that bound fell from that creature, and once free, she followed my footprint, as one of my most faithful disciples. 56. That woman was transformed before a word of forgiveness, in the most humble servant of the Master, and later in the sweet staff of Mary, when the hour of pain covered all. 57. I, who heard the voice of the spirits, heard that woman ask me, "Lord, is it possible that I am worthy to be with you in that last hour that you announce? Is it possible for me to truly serve you?" "Oh, woman," I told her, "get up, you are already clean. Cover yourself with the mantle of humility and return to the bosom of yours. Go in search of my mother and follow her." 58. I was going on a road to a village, when I saw Mary, my mother, coming to me. "Oh, beloved son, I know that your lips they have announced your next departure, and although my heart already knew it, I cannot help but tell you that I suffer infinitely for humanity." "Yes, it is written," I replied, "and it must be so. My sacrifice is necessary. It is necessary that the seed die in the bowels of the earth so that it bears fruit and multiplies. My blood, when spilled, will make your heart a very intense pain, but she will be like a stream of life for men, whom I will leave as your sons. My death will be life, and not for an instant will you and I be distant." 59. Now I am going to the house of Lazarus, because he will shortly go to the tomb, but I will bring him back, so that my Father's name be glorified. 60. Go you too, so that your presence comforts those women, because their pain will soon be great, and in your love will find sweet consolation. 61. Afterwards I met again with my disciples. It was already the last days of my stay among them. This is how they were to understand, so they wouldn't be surprised. Peter wept and received my orders in silence. John pressed my hands between his, when he was announced that he would be accompanied by my mother so that they could both console each other in the hours of testing. 62. Thaddeus was already suffering from separation from the Master, and I was still among them. The moment was tender and painful. More than the lips, the Spirit spoke, but I was the Word, and my word had to calm the immense pain accumulated in those hearts. 63. I spoke like the father to the children, like the brother to the brothers, like the teacher to the toddlers. "Oh, disciples, what you have drunk with me the water of the thirsty pilgrim. You have endured the fatigue of the long roads to go after my word and my works. In truth I tell you, that even if I leave your sight, I will not abandon you, and that if you want to take me in your hearts, resign you to my death, so that I live in you and speak through your mouths. Listen, my disciples, to the last of my words." 64. Under the shade of a tree, I told them, "The moment is near. but you can still taste the fruit of my word. Certainly you will remain like sheep among wolves. But you will not succumb because my mantle will cover you. See how big the crowds are. So they will feed as I did in the desert, and you will know how to multiply the bread as I taught you. 65. I am the light of the world, who has come to illuminate the path of the lost in darkness. I am the liberator who comes to break the chains of the captives. You have contemplated what you had yet to see, and you have seen it. But the instant in which you all feel my life vibrate in your being. 66. Thus I spoke and caressed through Jesus each one of my disciples, while their eyes overflowed in tears and in their heart expressed tender feelings to me and made innumerable promises to follow me. 67. Today I do not want to remind you of the last 3 days that I spent in the world. This will be another time, in which I will talk about the upper room, from my last visit to the garden, where I retired to pray, and finally I will tell you about my sacrifice. My peace be with you.